right, Coach. So just looking back on things this season, there were some highs, there were some lows. For you as a coach, would you call this a successful campaign?
Well, it was definitely successful. There's a lot of programs out there that would love to, have a 7-win season like we had. To me, there's unfinished business, and it's unfortunate. We had an opportunity, obviously, late in the year to win a conference championship, and we stumbled down this stretch, and so there's a lot of disappointment that goes with that. But all in all, a 7-4 season, coming off a year where we graduated 24 seniors, lost the 25th or another key player, in August, to start the projected starting quarterback, and graduated some very talented players that had really been the bulk of our team over the last 2 years. So to come out of it at 7-4, I think there's a lot of positives in that. It reminds me an awful lot of 2010, where we were able to kind of turn the corner in 2010 and really come closer. We're 6 points away from winning 3 consecutive conference championships. We lost by 2 in 2010 to Western Oregon at home. We lost by 4 at Southern, but Simon Fraser this year. So a lot of good in that, but I think our expectations are now at the point where when you come short of a conference championship like we did and had the chances that we did, there's disappointment with it. So a mixed bag.
But some accolades for your players coming out. Brett Freindahl named the conference's Offensive Lineman of the Year, and Nick Ricciardulli named the Offensive Player of the Year. Talk about those two.
Well, great to see, and certainly with Nick, very deserving of that. The season he had was with 9 of 11 games of over 100 yards. Great consistency shown, averaging nearly 150 yards a game. He's in the top 5, I believe, nationally in rushing. So to see that from him is great, and obviously that means the guys up front are getting it done. So it's great to see a Brett Friedendahl be recognized as the Offensive Lineman of the Year. What's great about Brett, he's one of the 3 players, Brian Sampson and Chris Peterson being the others, that came in 2008, our first year, part of that first class. We got the job in February and recruited well into the spring, and really had to sell those players on a leap of faith. We called it belief without evidence, and come in here and buy into the vision that we had. And so to see players like a Brett Friedendahl, like a Chris Peterson, a Brian Sampson, Alex Ebert, who would come in the next year, Daniel Wyatt, who was part of that group, be able to go out, with the success that we've had, an 8-win season, 9-win season, 7-win season, it's a great feeling, and really a testament to their perseverance and their commitment to the program. So great to see Brett Friedendahl recognized in this way.
For you as a coach, looking forward to next year, who are some key returners that you're going to really be counting on? Aside from Nick, very confident.
We've got a number of key players. Obviously, you got all 3 running backs coming back. All 3 were juniors this year, but Nick Ricciardulli certainly leads the way. We've got David Culp back at center, Dylan Reagan back at guard. We've got Marquise Deadweiler back at receiver. On the defensive side of the ball, we've got Alex Markarian back. We've got Ryan Moreno, who played as a true freshman for us. He'll be back. Kevin Cooper, Jerry Malawia, a 2-time now first-team All-League player for us. So a lot of pieces in place, and obviously some holes to fill, but not as many holes as last year. That's one of the exciting things that we graduated 16 seniors compared to 24, and not as many in starting roles. So a lot of players back, and a really good group of young players, freshmen, redshirt freshmen that are just starting to make their mark, or have yet to make their mark, but will. We're really high on a Dane Griffin, a defensive end that redshirted for us this year. Dylan Huffman, who played as a true freshman this year, I think now with the benefit of a winter conditioning program and spring practice, will really make a significant mark for us next year. And we've got some young offensive linemen in Jordan Briggs and Lucas Govan, and Mick Johnson, and then his brother Gus Johnson, that all are young players that are now need to step it up and hopefully step in to some of these holes that we'll have through graduation. That's part of the fun process as the year goes on, to see young players come in, go through that redshirt year, get in the weight room with Drew Peterson, do the things that they need to do there, compete for jobs come spring practice, and then begin to make their mark in the following season. And we certainly will have a number of freshmen that we expect to do that.
Talking about recruiting a little bit, any positions you need to target especially more than others?
Playmakers at receivers is a big need for us right now. We graduate, I think, 6 seniors at the receiver position alone. But Victor Spencer is the one that was in a start. Victor Spencer and Tommy Darcy, I should say, in starting roles. But we need to get some added size, I think, at that position, and then find some players with some great playmaking ability. We need to do that. We graduate 2 of our 3 starting linebackers, but do have a Colton Russey coming back and a J.J. Evans coming back, and then a Ryan Moreno who played an awful lot as a true freshman, had a couple starts at the linebacker position. So there are some key spots, obviously, that we will look for. It's not unlike most years. You're going to have that, and we do. But I think we can be a little more selective now because there are fewer holes than there were this time a year ago, and we want to make sure that we add the right pieces in terms of character, in terms of commitment to overall success, and their willingness to buy into how we do things here. So we will get on the road soon enough and begin identifying who those players are.
Coach, you've had 3, I think, conference offensive players of the year in a row now. Why do players seem to succeed in your offense?
Well, that's a great question. They're good players, and it really isn't the X and O part. It's more the guys that we've had. We had Lyndon Rouse, outstanding running back for us. Then Mike Prue, obviously the best quarterback that I've coached in 22 years. And then Nick Riccadulli coming into a system where it had been proven running backs can get yards. And we had Nick benefited certainly from a veteran offensive line. We had 3 seniors, 2 juniors among our starting 5 at the offensive line. And then we had all 5 stay healthy. And I think that was as important as anything else. We started the same 5 linemen all 11 games. That's almost unheard of. You're going to have some injuries at a position that takes the physical pounding that linemen take. You're going to have some injuries, and we were very, very fortunate to stay as healthy as we did. And then, a lot of credit to Nick. He's a very talented running back. I thought Arn Ferguson, the Western Oregon coach, paid him a great compliment when he said he plays as hard as any player he's watched on tape. So you've got talent combined with great work ethic, combined with a quality offensive line this year, and that certainly resulted in a lot of productivity. But we've been blessed. We certainly have with the talent that we've had at those offensive skill positions, and hopefully we can go out and develop more from within or find more on the outside that want to be a part of it.
Coach, I think you've proven with what you guys have here, you can compete for GNAC titles and win titles year in, year out. To take that next step to get on the national stage, what does the community and alumni need to do to get this program to 24, 36 scholarships, whatever it may be?
You just threw me a hanging curve, didn't you? Hit that out of the park. Again, there's no secret. We've got to improve our scholarship situation to compete at the national level, and I would hope that that's everybody's goal, not just mine. We're a long ways away from where we need to be. So the first thing is it starts with improving our fundraising efforts to allow us to be more competitive in the recruiting arena and go out and find the players, the student athletes that we need to bring here that are going to contribute in positive ways as members of the Humboldt State community. So we've got to improve that. We've got to close the gap from where we're at right now because it's not a level playing field. Certainly when you look at it from a national standpoint, it is not a level playing field. There were 24 teams yesterday or Sunday selected for the Division II national playoffs, and every single one of those 24 are in the upper 20s, if not fully funded at 36 scholarships. So it doesn't take some real math majors to realize that scholarships are the key to competing at the national level. And again, we've been able to compete within our own conference here because I think the other conference members also face similar challenges to what we have. But again, it is certainly my goal, and I want it to be Humboldt State's goal to compete at the national level. Competing within our conference is great, and we've been able to establish that as a year in, year out expectations. But let's take it now one step further. Let's be able to schedule out of conference teams, be able to either travel to those schools or have those schools come here to bring some great talented teams to the Redwood Bowl to get a chance for our home fans to see exactly what's out there at the national level, and then become a player at the national level in terms of the regional rankings and how you how you get to the national playoffs in Division II. So we will continue to work in that direction, and hopefully our success has energized the Humboldt faithful, and that people can hear our plea and step up and help us close the gap from where we're currently at to where we need to get to.
All right, Coach, hardball time. Social media rumor mill running rampant between here in Moscow, Idaho, that you're going to be the next coach at the University of Idaho. Can you comment on that?
Number one, I have great respect for the where I work now and who signs the paycheck now. So it's a delicate situation. At this point, I have had no direct contact with anyone at the University of Idaho. I think it's a internet rumor that has got legs, and I look at this way: it's a flattering compliment to the job that we've done here. Whenever your name is mentioned for other jobs, it means you're doing something right at the job you have. And so this is a result of the hard work of a lot of players, of a lot of assistant coaches that have put Humboldt State in a position now where the head coach is being mentioned for opportunities like that. So again, my focus through through Saturday was entirely on Humboldt State, and as I do every year, I'll now take a step back and kind of look at where I'm at, where we're at as a program, and what needs to be done. But I do want to make it clear that I've had no contact with anyone at the University of Idaho. I think it's the social media and how things work nowadays, but it is also a nice compliment that to a lot of people, I think, that Humboldt State is mentioned, for situations like this one.
With those rumors out there, at some point, does it affect what you guys do in recruiting and what you do out there?
I don't think it will. Again, I think it'll play itself out soon enough. And again, my commitment is to Humboldt State University, and I'm excited about the group of kids we have coming back. I'm excited about where this program is at. You look at it, we've had 8 wins, 9 wins, 7 wins, and we're disappointed with a 7-win season. So something good is going on here. And as long as we're continuing to move forward and continue, there's a plan in place to continue to build, then I tell you what, this is a great situation, and I'm privileged to be in this role. So again, we'll just Humboldt State is where my focus is right now.
Thank you, Coach.